This is the Flower Fairies and Crystal Divas Fairy Connection membership intro call. I'll be doing a sample intro Zoom event for you guys to give you a little taste of my new up and coming fairy crystal Flower Connection membership. This is a 3-month membership starting May through July 2026, and I'm excited to deepen my connection with the flower fairies and the crystals and the fairy kingdom in general. So, I want to talk a little bit about me. I'm Andrea Dombecki from Angel Fairy Healing. I've been doing fairy classes for about 15 years, I have to say, and I've been channeling fairies probably even longer and drawing them my whole life. I love to create these classes to help us really cultivate our individual personal relationship with the fairy kingdom. And I believe that that's a gift that we will have for the rest of our life. I know it enhances my daily life, and I have to constantly remember to live that, to remind myself to channel the fairies, connect with the fairies of the garden, the plants, the rocks, the crystals, and work with these beautiful medicines to enhance my life. I love doing fairy readings, fairy channelings, fairy arts. I have some oracle decks, and I'm so excited to present the Flower Fairies and Crystal Diva 3-month membership this 2026. We're starting in 3-month increments. We're starting May, and we're super excited to deepen our connection with the fairy realm in this amazing way together. So I would like to give you guys a sample of the class and tell you a little bit more about it. Um, we're going to start officially with a Zoom on May 9th, and we will be having one live Zoom a month, and I'll talk about what else will be involved in the membership. But I'm super duper excited to set this intention to deepen our relationship with the flower fairies, with the crystal divas, and how they work together. I know I use them together when I make grids, when I make essences, when I journey. I feel like there's all these magical connections, and they're kind of a secret to our physical life, right? That there's magical, spiritual, fairy, earth energies all around us that are waiting to communicate with us. And I find once we attune to those energies, we can start to listen on our own. So I want to tell you why I created this one specifically. The fairies repeatedly said, we want you to do flowers and crystals, because a few years ago I did a year-long Fairies of the Seasons membership, and each 3-month increment for the 4 seasons, I did classes based on that season, connecting with those fairies, like, spring was dandelion, summer was bees, winter we went to the frost kingdoms, fall we went to like the forests of changing leaves, and we journeyed to ancient fairylands, and we had such a great time that I was thinking I would love to do another kind of consistent fairy membership. And so I really kept feeling like combining the flower fairies and the crystals was a great idea, because I personally have a lifelong relationship with both of these things and the fairies. And I find that they've always been reaching out to me. And when I can consciously connect back with them and like take time to journal with them, meditate, channel, work with the energies through writing, through art, through poetry, through crystal grid making, essence making, or baking, whatever other ways you want to work with them. There's so many different ways that my life was just enhanced with their magical medicine, and they were all around me. So I kept getting that nudge that I would love to offer this as a deepening for everybody into that medicine and magic. So we're going to be doing a different theme each month, and already the fairies are kind of bringing in their organic kind of map for us. We're going to be creating a flower and crystal map, also a life review of those energies that have followed us throughout our life. Maybe sunflower's your totem, or rose like me, or maybe you've deepened your relationship with morning glory throughout the past few years, or maybe you've had a lifelong relationship with the pink rocks like rose quartz or clear quartz or selenite. So we're going to dive deeper into the fairies and the crystals that have been calling to work with us maybe our whole life, and why and how they would like to work with us. So once I started to really commit to doing this class, I got approached by Apple Blossom. And I never really understood that apple trees had these flowers. We all know about cherry blossoms, but they were kind of off my radar. So I felt like once I committed to opening that way, different flowers started approaching me. So during these 3 months, we are going to have a focus. Like May will be the pink flowers, the pink stones, and June will be the morning glory, the moonflower. It's like more climbing vine flowers, and we're going to focus on blue and white. And then July will be the golden stones, the sunflower, uh, different golden energies like that, golden healer, carnelian, working with pyrite, working with those golden stones. And I feel like that's also unfolding some energies with color magic and healing, chakra healing. Like pink is heart, blue is throat, gold is the solar plexus, personal power. So we're going to see how the fairies unfold these themes for us, but I'm so excited to see how they weave together the flowers with the rocks and how they radiate this magic and almost sing to each other, right? If we listen, the flowers have a voice, the rocks have a voice, the stones, the crystals have a voice, and they have multidimensional communication that they would like to share with us. I find a lot of crystals have kind of home planets, origin planets. Some of the flowers do too. And then they came and they shared their seeds, they shared their energy with Earth, right? They've come to bring that energy to our planet. And so it's really exciting to journey deeper. And the way I love to do these classes is I just kind of help everyone journey and connect on their own so that it's something that you will have your whole life. Like once I was attuned to flower listening and seeing their spirits in my third eye, that was just the beginning. I would practice a lot on my own, and it's been a gift that I can enjoy my whole life. And I do feel this is one of our natural spiritual gifts is to be able to connect with nature, connect with the spirits of nature in this beautiful way, and especially from the fairy kingdom perspective. So we'll have fairies guiding us. So it's kind of like a three-part thing: the flowers, the crystals, and the fairies from that beautiful perspective organically. And of course, I feel like some unicorn energy might come in and different things. And so we're just kind of open to how they would like to work with us. So I invite you into this magical container with me. This is a 3-month membership, May to July 2026. We are starting to record May 9th and release things, but registration will be open till May 15th. You can sign up for a one-time payment for the 3 months, or there's a monthly payment option. Every month you will receive guided meditations, activations, teachings on that subject. So there'll be some class recordings. There will also be one live Zoom a month. That will be about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how much time we need. We'll probably record 30 minutes. I'll do like a live energy healing meditation. Then we'll have unrecorded time where people can share freely. Each month, you'll also receive a personalized fairy reading up to about 150 words or more. I always go over, but at least 150 words. That will be a personalized fairy channeling for you for that month. There will also be a little fairy workbook each month with some journal prompts and some ideas of ways you can work with the fairies of the month. So I'm super excited to invite all of you to this, and I encourage you to start your flower and crystal maps, journal out how the flowers have been trying to reach you your whole life, what flowers, are repeatedly showing up, maybe on clothing, on in arts, in symbols, TV, books. Same thing with the crystals. What crystals are you drawn to? How would they like to work with you? And just kind of deepening that connection. So let's do that together. We're going to do a mini journey. We're going to journey with our flower fairy guides and our crystal diva guides, and they are inviting you into their magical realm and showing you how they would like to work with you. And when we do these memberships, they're kind of a collective commitment, a collective date, I say, so to speak, to work with the fairy realms and take that beautiful, magical time for ourselves. I'm excited to experience this along with everyone. So as we open our heart, we drop in, we open our heart, we drop into our body, we release our mind, We take those long, deep breaths and we're entering into the heart space, the spiritual space, completely balanced in body, mind, and spirit, and relaxed. And we invite in the flower fairy kingdom. We invite in the guides that will be working with us during the next 3 months. We're inviting in the beautiful flower fairy kings and queens and guides. And we're opening our heart to work with them, opening our ear chakras to hear them. And we're also committing to taking the action steps that they might be whispering to us. Maybe they're telling you to plant some roses or draw some roses or get some jewelry or perfume with that theme. So just opening up to fairy guidance from the flower fairies and how they would like to work with us and how our life purpose with the flower fairies would like to unfold. What's next for us? Because we know that when we take those steps, we invite in our alignment and our wholeness. So feeling the flower energies, work with ourselves, work with our nervous system, feeling the joy of the flower kingdom, all the different colors of the flowers, all the different voices of the flowers, all the different messages, opening up our nervous system, opening up our empathic senses, opening up our listening, opening up our inner eye, and we are inviting flower communication. And we're seeing how the flowers would like to work with us during the next few months. How are they inviting us to work with them? Right away, I had a vision of chicory. Chicory is this beautiful kind of really bright blue, flower blue flower that's considered even a weed. It grows in parks, and I totally grew up with that my whole life, like always seeing chicory everywhere. So I think that's some of the magic that's going to happen during the next few months is some flowers that are just kind of in your face all the time are going to reach out and be like, hey, I've been trying to reach you your whole life. And I go back to remembering chicory uh growing like all around in like lots where I lived because I lived in kind of urban suburbs, but there would be like these abandoned lots and places where nature grew wild in the urban areas, and chicory was always there growing along the side of the road. And I have a lot of memories of that from childhood. And I was very outdoorsy type, so it was like running around exploring in the street and stuff, within the little wooded areas. I always remember chicory, so that's coming up a lot, and just breathing in that energy. And that's kind of goes along with next month's theme with the blue flowers, how the blue flowers are working with us. And we're also looking at the difference between the flowers that kind of grow wild, like weeds, or the flowers we might consciously grow in gardens, and how all the purpose of the flower kingdom is working with humanity and working with us in general, and what messages that they have for us. So we're opening up that beautiful wisdom, the wisdom and the energy medicine of the flower kingdom. We're inviting that in. We're feeling our hands tingle, our feet tingle. We're opening up our empathic senses, inviting in that flower energy medicine. That feels amazing. Thank you, flower fairies. And taking a deep breath and just grounding in our visions, our ideas, and we're just tapping in. Do the flower fairies have any other messages for us? How would they like to work with us? How would they like to help us regulate? How would they like to help us to live in balance and alignment? How would they like to bless our lives and co-create with us? So taking those deep breaths. And remember, it's great to breathe when we journey and we channel and we meditate because we're raising up our frequency, right? We're tuning to the energetic level of the flower kingdom. So sometimes that takes a little bit of silencing our being, getting into that relaxed, calm state, having a sacred space to meditate without distractions, or even picking a time of day when you can be quiet and you can really tap in, right? Our psychic senses work when we're quiet and still, and we have a safe, relaxed place to practice using them. So we're taking this sacred time together to invite in the flower medicine. We're calling in any flowers that we require to work with right now that would like to work with us. Flowers, the flower kingdom is very intelligent. So we're connecting with the wisdom and the intelligence of the flower kingdom and our specific flower fairy guides that maybe have been trying to get your attention your whole life. I mean, I love to channel the flowers, but I always realize that I'm not fully listening. So when I take time to listen, they have a lot to say. So I I recommend taking that regular time to spending time with the flowers, listening to them. And if you want to go that extra mile, I suggest going, to a nursery, to a botanical garden, to a plant store, a park, somewhere where there's lots of flowers with that intention of listening and channeling and really connecting and merging with them. So now the crystal divas are coming in and there's a little more earthy. They have their crystal cave areas that you can journey, and they're showing how they work in symbiotically with the flowers, right? They enhance each other's energy. They kind of bounce off of each other, and so they're kind of coming in with that earthy energy and just connecting with our favorite crystals. I'm seeing lots of beautiful colored crystals and rocks coming in, and there are caves, and maybe there's different origin places that your soul likes to go, where you're maybe you're from a crystal cave, maybe you're from a crystal planet. So we're connecting with that energy also of the origins of our soul and our core energies, maybe the core crystal energies that connect with us, or at least hold the codes of our spiritual origins. I find that, and that's even why I chose to do the pink stones right away, because I feel so connected to a lot of the pink stones, like rose quartz, and like connected to their like cosmic origins. I feel like there's a story there. And also they have a beautiful intelligence of the heart and the soul. So connecting with the intelligence that the crystals bring, that there are living codexes. They're like in the multidimensional awareness, they are books of knowledge. They're holding ancient knowledge. And when we take time to meditate with them and listen to them, we receive that beautiful connection. So, thinking of your crystal map and how the crystals have been following you your whole life and how they would like to work with you from that fairy perspective. The fairies really said, call us crystal divas, because they're like divic presences. They said that's what to call them. So connecting with the soul of the crystals, and you can practice this by, if there's any crystal that you have, I'm gonna pick up like an amethyst, just kind of connecting with the diva of that, just setting that intention. Who's there? Where do you come from? And you might get, like, I get a lot of visions of a kind of magical planet that crystal comes from, with lots of their caves, or maybe there's a crystal cavern somewhere. And then there's like diva fairy beings that are hold the energy of that crystal, and they might even like radiate the color of that crystal or look like they're made up of that crystal. And they have a powerful purpose to work with humanity. So when we make that connection, we start to download their wisdom and their healing medicine, and they'll give us ideas. They might say, make a crystal machine. And sometimes they tell me stuff like that, like in simple ways. I like to make crystal machines with copper, wands, or fill containers with different crystals. And then that's a simple way to make a crystal healing machine, right? You could just get like a coffee can, fill it with specific crystals that you need, and then like hold that coffee can. And then that's holding like a big collection of healing crystals that you've activated for your own healing. So we're connecting with the beautiful crystal divas, and we're receiving. We're receiving their healing energy, their upliftment. They really want us to receive, because they said a lot of us have been pushed so far down into stress and struggle lately that they really want us to receive and relax into just existing on the higher vibrations that they exist on. And they're really here as allies right now. So that's a sample of how we'll be working with the crystals and the flowers during the next few months of the membership. You can find out more. Please contact me on my website, angelfairyhealing.com, or you can reach me at Andrea at angelfairyhealing.com. My Facebook group is Angel Fairy Healing with Andrea Dombecki. And I'm excited to invite you to the Fairy Crystal membership this May 2026. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this free sample intro of the class.